This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Inside the Runner Studio. This is your host, Tom, and with me as always are Aaron, Michael, and Diana.
Hello.
Hello.
And we are joined by our friend Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
It's very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
She's excited to be here, everyone.
My normal answer is, yeah, I'm okay, but today I'm great.
We appreciate the enthusiasm. So you know the drill. We're going to ask you some running related questions, some non-running related questions, and get to know you. But before we do you want to kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Stephanie. Most people call me Veruca because that's just my personality. My dad's been calling me that since I was 2, so it kind of stinks. I run my own company. I've been running for on and off for about 15 years. The last 4 years I've gotten more serious about it. Doesn't stop the ridiculous outfits I put on, but I've got 2 teenagers, one in college and one who's still home. And both surprisingly need me just as much as they did when they were both at home.
Okay.
Except the daughter in college, her catastrophes are far more expensive now.
Yeah,
That's about right.
Yep.
And you said you run your own company. What's your company?
I run Tomorrowland Productions. I make running costumes and outfits and skirts and shirts and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. Very cute.
All right. So we're going to jump right into the questions. And Diana's got our first one.
Yeah. Steph, do you have a favorite run of all time? It doesn't have to be a race, but just a favorite run.
I keep changing this. And it's definitely a Disney one, but it's generally based on who I have been with in the race and what we're dressed as. My first favorite one was dressed as the 4 park icons, and it was a very slow 5K where the guys on the golf carts were behind me telling me they were going to pick me up, and I looked at them and said, I don't fit in that.
Yeah,
because I was shipper.
Oh, God.
So you can't pick me up because you don't have a choice but to let me keep going because I am a giant ball.
Yep.
Exactly. After that would be dressed as the Girl Scout, the Princess Girl Scouts with the Maui, the cookie. But for that one, honestly, it was just because we were the props to the cookie guy.
Yeah.
And it was nice to hand out cookies to the volunteers. We all had real boxes of cookies and just handed them out at the water stop.
I love
that's
that.
adorable. I don't think that I knew you guys did that.
I handed all my boxes off at the first water stop and I was done.
That's smart. That's smart.
That's the way to do it.
Oh, that's funny. All right. What is one goal that drives you the most to run?
I want to be around for my kids. That was my initial goal. And now I want to be faster than them. And I'm like a dwarf. I'm good at long distances, not sprints.
Nice.
So I can definitely beat my daughter, my son. If it's a sprint, no, I can't catch up to 16-year-old legs, but I can outlast him.
There you go.
That's for sure.
Have they gotten into the runDisney? Do they?
Aaron knows this story, but my daughter, we were, I think, last Princess. They both came with us, which just meant you walked around and did a lot more at the end of every day than the day before.
Yep.
So halfway through the weekend, she looked at me and said, I hate Disney adults.
Yeah.
They are the worst.
You know, that's your mother's whole business. So thanks a lot.
Yep.
They don't like organized running. I have to force my son to go run because he's wrestling and needs the cardio. But they prefer to do anything else but what they're parents do, especially because
Yeah.
they're afraid I'm going to embarrass them dressed as something.
Yep.
It's fair.
That's fair. That's teenagers. So what are your ideal running conditions?
So I thought a lot about this.
Ooh.
There's not a lot that I don't like. I don't like rain, I don't like snow, and I don't like cold. So anything above 45 degrees, I'm good. You could give me a 90-degree day and I'll be happy running.
90 degrees. You're like Michael. That's dumb. That's so dumb.
I'm always cold. So if my core is cold, forget it. I'm going back inside and going to hide on the couch for the day.
Yep.
That's excuse me. That's fair. Would you run a race without a medal?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
That's
don't
the right.
like it.
Yeah.
There are a couple that I've done in New Hampshire that they don't give you a medal. So I have ordered them for whoever I'm running with. And then I usually order extra. So if there's 6 of us running, I'll order 10 or 15. And then we've started handing them out to the people who are also in costumes. Like, you win for best dressed today. You win for this. You win for that.
Are they just random medals? Like what kind of medals are we talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. But if I can find one that fits the theme, like a Margaritaville or or we did a German one. We did a beer fest.
I remember those photos. They were really cute.
Yeah. So now we were trying to not show the medal in the photos because they weren't, race approved. So then the photographer and the guy who was running the race said, no, put those medals out. But you don't offer this medal.
Yeah.
But okay. So I try to stick to a theme if it is. And they'll sell the little stickers for the back that you can put the date and the distance on if it's not on the front of the medal.
Okay. That's cute.
But I want my bling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the
Tom is
only
all about the
answer.
bling.
That's the only answer to that question.
Yep. All right. Do you use a training plan or a coach when you're preparing for a race, or do you just wing it?
Karen knows the answer to this question too. I wing it a lot. Past 2 times I have had a coach. I have hurt myself to the point of not being able to continue. So superstitious is trying to not have a formal plan or a coach, because that seems to be my issue. Once we get above a certain amount of miles, I was never a skinny person. So putting, 100 miles on my ankle a month usually leads to some catastrophe. So I willy-nilly, but I do spend a lot of time at Orange Theory, and over the past year, a lot more time on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're an OTF girl through and through.
Yes, I do love my runs there. They're short, and that seems to be the most effective way for me to get faster is to do those classes.
Yeah.
I was the
outside on my
fastest.
own.
Yep. I was the fastest when I was doing OTF. Like when I was doing all my PRs and stuff like that. It's when I was going to OTF like 4 or 5 days a week.
Tom misses our OTF exclusive podcast.
It's fine.
Or that's all we talked about for like.
Oh yeah, that one winter.
Oh yeah,
It's
that one
fine.
winter that we were doing it. Yeah. Oh gosh. All right, we are going to move into the random questions. What is your favorite breakfast food?
Ooh.
Eggs, Mickey eggs specifically, and I understand they come in a bag, and I don't care. I love my Mickey egg.
So you said this to us at one point in like a group chat, and all of us were like, "What the hell are Mickey eggs?"
I don't know.
So
So
what are Mickey eggs?
Mickey eggs are eggs you can only get on Disney property.
It doesn't
whether
matter
it's
what kind of egg. It's just it's the fact that they're in Disney World.
I prefer the scrambled with nothing else, although Boma has really good ones that have some other vegetables mixed in, and I'll still accept those. But Mickey eggs scrambled are fluffy and good, and I don't care that they come in a bag. I don't. I know it. I've searched it thinking I could replicate it, and I can't. So.
We thought that she was talking about like a Mickey-shaped egg someplace.
Yeah.
We had no idea what she was talking about. She's like,
Ah.
no, they're just the scrambled eggs. I'm like, what?
Oh man. All right. So, what is the last film you cried at?
Oh.
I'm not a crier, so that's a problem. I don't cry at anything. I couldn't tell you the last time I. Oh yeah, my husband is downstairs and he just said Endgame, so he would be correct in that every time Endgame is on,
yeah.
Tony Stark dies. If nobody has seen it and it's a spoiler, I'm sorry for you, but he dies. I
think it's been over 5 years. I think we're good.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
But that part every time, and my son will sit next to me and he'll sniffle too at the same part. So there's a lot of making fun of us.
Yeah, I also cry anytime Marvel's on.
Stop.
I hate him so much.
Okay, so if you could go on a dream vacation, where would you go and what would it be?
Oh, Australia and New Zealand, and I'm working on this one. I want to go explore Hobbiton.
That's the dream.
Who are you?
Vacation.
Diana?
Yeah. I feel like this whole crew would be a good Hobbiton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see someone tagged us in it a couple of days? I think it was Don B. Joyful tagged us in it. There's like a Hobbiton run that you can do.
Yeah.
That I didn't know about. So
yes.
Yeah.
That's that run, and then going to Sydney and going across the bridge, because I'm a little ninny about heights, and so you can climb. At least you could climb across the top of the bridge, and those are the two things that I want to do in that trip.
Amazing.
Hopefully, my husband gets to go there for work one day, and I've already told him I don't care. It's at least a 3-week trip.
Yep, it's gotta be.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yep. All right, and this is actually an interesting question. Are you a selfie person or a photo of your journey?
I feel awkward taking my own picture, contrary to however many selfies there are of me. I prefer to take a picture of my journey. If I'm doing a running one or something like that, it's usually my feet.
Yep.
That's literally your journey.
What's your one piece of race etiquette from the photo pass perspective that you'd like other runners to acknowledge?
Oh, from the photo. Were you in this conversation the other day when I complained about this?
No.
Know who's around you when whether you're getting a photo or really anytime in a run. Beware of the people around you. If you're going to take a photo and you slam your arms up in the air, then you get Mike Wazowski'd, or you hit someone. I ran a 10K in Disneyland, and I had on the Iron Gauntlet because I was Iron Mickey, and I was guilty of lifting my arm and not really paying attention, and a couple of people complained. I'm like, well, it hasn't gone really anywhere. It's moving like 2 inches. So I was very conscious of that after that. But I've been hit in the face, or I've been teed up with somebody next to me and we're doing something ridiculous, not jumping or anything. And we try to, stay within our mark, like not, we try not to be too big. But when you come and cut right in front of me and you almost trip me, or you almost trip the person next to me or somebody else because you think you're going to get this great shot, you're not anyway.
No.
Get yourself behind the next person, the person, in front of you, and set yourself up.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Or you just come to a dead freaking stop.
Yeah.
That annoys the crap out of me.
yeah.
I'm like,
that's the
Keep
worst.
moving. Keep moving.
Like, keep moving. On the boardwalk last year, I think was like the worst, where everyone just kept stopping. And I'm like, first of all, the PhotoPass, they're high action PhotoPass cameras. So like the whole point is they're supposed to be taking your picture while you're in motion.
Yeah.
The jam if you're spectating like halfway down Main Street and people come and see the castle, that little log jam where people stop like right in the middle, and then like the people that don't stop, like that's a very
I don't think I've ever hit a log jam there.
Well, that's because you're a festival and you get
Michael.
to the castle before there's 1,800 people. All right, moving on.
All right, moving on.
We've already had this conversation. Would you prefer a fancy dinner or a hole in the wall great local restaurant?
Oh, I want the hole in the wall. As much as the dairy-free Italian can be a foodie, I try. So I want the little places. I have a random place here that has the best tortilla chicken soup ever, and you would never think it by the outside of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although I do like fancy dinner too, so I don't know.
Fair.
I would like.
I like both.
Yeah,
But it's hard to tell, hard to choose. I mean,
yeah.
All right, so now we have the James Lipton questions, and the first one, as always, is what is your favorite word?
Lothlorien.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. What?
Lothlorien. You should know what that is.
I'm going to need a spelling on that.
I probably could spell it for you. If you would like an easier non-Tolkien related one, we can go with prosthetic.
Okay.
And what is your least favorite word?
Influencer, followed closely by content.
Followed by content.
There you go.
All right, let's not make this weird. What turns you on?
Intelligence. My husband and I met on Match, and he was above my age demographic. And because he took the time to see that I was Italian, ask if I had two kitchens, ask why it was gravy, like he asked a whole bunch of meaningful questions. I answered him. Otherwise, he was too old. And I mean, not that he's that much older than me, but at that point, I was dating a decade younger than me. So I was trying to avoid, anything above 5 years older than me. But yeah, intelligence.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
And on the other side, what turns you off?
Selfishness.
Okay.
I really try to explain that to my kids that, you want to give and pay it forward. You want to give back to people and you want to have empathy. And selfish, narcissistic people, I will avoid you and I will drop you immediately if I feel that you are not living to help the rest of the world, that you're only there for yourself.
Another really good answer.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
All right. And then what sound or noise do you love?
My kids laughing.
Laughter is often one of people's favorites.
Yeah.
Yep. And then what sound or noise do you hate?
I hate smacking lips. Like when you're eating, that noise, that and chewing. Can you tell I have a teenage boy?
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine.
What is your favorite curse word?
Asshat.
That's a
great one.
Good one.
That's different than what we normally get. I
like
appreciate a different one.
Yep.
All right. So what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh, besides my own, I'd love to be a lawyer. And I was a paralegal, so it's not a huge jump. But the ability to go and argue in court far more than being behind the desk and doing all the paperwork would be fantastic. And I'd be really good at that. But I don't want to go to law school.
It's fair.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to do that either.
What profession would you not like to attempt?
Service industry.
Fair.
Any part of it.
Yeah.
I don't like dealing with people at all. But anything in service where somebody is irritated or upset, I don't have the patience. I will snap right back at you.
Yeah. I have that problem as well.
I'd be fired really quickly.
All right. Well, I get the privilege of asking you our final question, but before I do, Veruca/Stephanie, thank you very much for being on with us. So if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You were fun to watch.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. We got a couple different ones recently. I like it.
Is there do you want to leave us with any parting words of wisdom, any shout outs you'd like to give, or anything you'd like to plug?
besides my own company, yes, I would love to plug my own company. Hey, come see me if you want something weird and wild or unique and custom for a costume, a shirt, or a skirt. Beyond that, runners and walkers have this thing between each other that they feel the other one is doing something wrong. And I kind of want to, as someone who does both, if we all stayed in the spot we were in and didn't go the wrong way, much like life, if we all stayed in our lane and tried to be kind to the person next to us, again, in life or running and walking, I think we would all get along better and complain less.
Oh, there you go.
So profound. Nice. Why don't you tell us where we can find Tomorrowland Productions?
Oh, I am on Instagram at Tomorrowland Productions LLC, and my website is tomorrowlandproductionsllc.com.
I will link those in the show notes. Yep. And if you want to see the skirts, head over there or head to my Instagram page because I have worn them many a times.
That is true.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much for being on, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.